What's up guys, Shane, I, and Lucas are back again. This is not the review like we did last time, but this is now the spoiler-filled discussion based on the twist of Iron Man 3.
Can you explain the twist? Keep in mind, we all each have a different opinion on it.
Yes.
Right.
One that is okay with it, one that was pretty about it, and the other one who's in the middle.
Iron Man 3 is the sequel to the Avengers. Now, there's about a halfway point in the film when Tony Stark, and this is at a point when we were talking about the review where he had to like improvise his weapon. It gets to a point where after he's taken out all the guys at the Mandarin's supposed hideout,
right.
He gets to what looks like a set, bunch of costumes, some cameras, gets to this bed, he unwinds the blankets, and we see these two really hot chicks.
Yeah. Right.
And we're like, okay, and at this point we're like, okay, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah,
and so then we hear a toilet flush, out of nowhere comes what looks like the Mandarin, but then all of a sudden talks all British.
Yeah,
and
he's very English sounding.
Yeah, very English sounding, and then when Tony Stark gets him down, he's like, oh no, I'm just an actor.
That is the twist.
That's a twist.
The actual Mandarin.
He is a fucking British actor.
Who was very doped up on drugs, first of all.
He was offered the job by Guy Pearce's character, Aldrich Killian. He was offered a job, which you think would be like to get off of drugs, but no, he got more drugs.
Yeah, he got more
apparently.
drugs. He was offered more drugs.
Yeah. Which I thought was kind of funny in a sense.
It was kind of funny. How he explained that was really funny.
The whole twist was that the Mandarin isn't the Mandarin in the comics. He's just a doped up actor.
Which was a very interesting take on it.
It was interesting.
My view on this is the one that is okay with this.
Yes.
For the best reason. See, the thing is, I know the Mandarin is an original villain of the Iron Man universe. With that being said, for those who are very familiar with the comic books and such, would not be very happy with this.
Yeah.
For me, I didn't know too much, so I was okay with it. So I guess ignorance is bliss on this one. I honestly thought it was pretty funny.
Okay.
Because when we got to that part, I didn't really think much of it. I was just like, that's kind of funny actually. I kind of realized a twist, but it didn't hit me. Yeah. Until it got to the very ending where Aldrich Killian said that he was the Mandarin.
Yeah, that was the part where I was like,
he was like, I was the Mandarin. And I was like, okay.
Really? Yeah. I was like, no, you're not.
Yeah, he's like, no. The thing is that it still wasn't bad in my opinion. I believe this plot twist was not needed.
Yeah, it wasn't needed.
It wasn't needed, but it was still very entertaining. It was something to keep the story from becoming predictable. Okay. That's why I believe it was set in there, because a lot of movies that are action nowadays are pretty damn predictable.
I will admit, I was able to call a few parts of the movie. I was able to call a few parts.
Yeah, but I mean, with this plot twist, it wasn't, as I always said, exactly needed. It was just to keep the story fresh. I don't know, I just thought it was bleh.
You were able to roll along with it.
I was a little bit... Oh my god. I was able to roll with it because it didn't affect me because I wasn't a huge Iron Man fan.
Okay.
So that's why I'm okay with it. I just thought it was pretty funny overall in general. I think that a guy who played as the Mandarin...
Ben Kingsley.
It's pretty damn funny.
Yeah.
So, okay, Austin, go ahead and explain why you weren't too happy with this one.
Now, I'm a Mandarin fan. I'm a big Iron Man fan now. I didn't really know about Mandarin's powers until I played Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which is how I found about the whole character.
Right.
The Mandarin is supposed to be this all-powerful badass. He's supposed to be skilled at martial arts. He's supposed to be a genius in terms of science.
Yeah.
And he has these 10 rings, which, I mean, I still like how they reference the 10 Rings organization. I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, they did do that. So
but the thing is, now this is kind of going off Iron Man 3, but my friend Kevin Morris, in that movie nerd, he did this little thing on Dark Knight Rises. He did this thing on how, like, if it wasn't for some other things, something would have killed it for him. It was the plot twist when it was Talia al Ghul came in instead of Bane, how it made Bane a much of a lesser villain. When I heard him say, I'm an actor, I was like...
That's basically kind of like...
Yeah, it was kind of like
It was the Dark Knight Rises effect.
Yeah, it was kind of like that, but although I still love Dark Knight Rises, I still loved it.
Oh yeah, absolutely, no doubt about it. One of the best movies of that year.
And the Mandarin is supposed to have these 10 rings of power that grants him these things. Now, when you see the trailers, he has the rings on him. When you found out that he was an actor, I was like, oh, I want to see the rings in effect.
Yeah.
Wait, are you fucking kidding me? And then also when Aldrich was like, I am the Mandarin, I was like, you do not have 10 rings, although he was skilled at martial arts. He was skilled at that. And he was good at science. But you did not have the 10 rings of power. I do like how they tried to keep the Mandarin more grounded in reality with his character.
Yeah.
I liked how they tried to do that, and I will admit, he was funny. When we watched the trailers, we barely got any glimpses of Guy Pearce. We barely did, because it was all Mandarin. It was able to keep me up because of the action sequences, because of the characters and everything. I was kind of like the ad, but as it went on, I was like, you know what? Screw it, I'll go along with it.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Now, Lucas,
what's your idea on it?
My thing is, when I first saw the Mandarin, especially when the one scene where he shot the tax guy in the head, even though the president called him, that was a surprise. And then you find out he's an actor, and he said, they wouldn't even allow me to hold a gun the first time.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, my question is, how was he able to use a gun if they told you couldn't do a gun?
Someone probably off-screen shot him, I think.
The Mandarin character, like, even though when he told me he was an actor, I'm like, I really don't know how to go with this. Like, he was a funny guy, like, especially when he was, like, Tony Stark and, Dom Shield were investigating him, trying to get answers from him. Like, the one funny part where I remember is where he's on the couch, they were trying to get information, and he goes, go!
Yeah, the guy is, just as a reminder, the guy is really doped up on drugs.
Yeah.
He's kind of out there, but it's really funny.
He's like, dude, I'm a fucking idiot!
I remember that. My thing was, how could he do that? How could he talk like that? And how could he know how to speak like that fluently while you're on drugs? And it just doesn't make any sense to me. And then
that's the part, actor.
Yeah, that kind of explains it. My thing was when Pepper Potts died, even though she was injected with the virus, I didn't think there was one scenario where I thought she was going to die, and then there was another scenario where right before she was going to fall in the flames, an Iron Man suit was going to come up and control by Jarvis.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
That's what I thought. Just in case, because if it sounds kind of confusing, the final confrontation between Aldrich and Tony Stark. Tony Stark made this protocol where, if in dire need, he would call all the Iron Man suits. Every single one. That's up to Mark 42, I believe.
Yeah.
So there was about 41 different Iron Man suits beating the crap out of people.
It was
awesome. So cool.
That was pretty fucking epic.
It was epic. But so that's why we were saying if she fell to her death, there would be another Iron Man suit.
Yeah, there are some things that I wish that would have happened, but they were very, 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 very small things. Yeah. We still really liked this movie a lot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That was great. That was our little spoiler discussion on the twist and some other things on Iron Man 3. Tell us about what you thought about the twist, of if you were on board with it, or if you're like, really?
Yeah, were you okay with it? Were you on board with it? Were you on the fence about it? Or were you just not happy at all whatsoever?
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you again to both of you for being here. And until the next video review or spoiler for discussion, we will see you guys next time.
See you later.
Seriously, do it. Do it. Do it.